Hello and welcome, my friends. I am just going to show you how easy it is to do an ink project on one of those what do they call, grain sack tiles or something like that. I don't know what it is, but it's a really thin tea towel. It's really long. I'm just using this fabric because I am actually using these. Once I get this done inked and heat set, it will be permanent, but I am using it to put on a pillow slip cover. And I'm just going to use fabric glue to put it on. So this is how easy it is to do it. So just get you one of these. This may have come from the Dollar Tree. I do not recall, but it's pretty long, so you can get several projects out of it. As you can see, I've already done one up here, and I have a transfer stencil I'm using for the Halloween designs, because that's what the projects that I was needing was some covers for Halloween. So I actually have 4 designs that are the same size. So this is a pretty big size. Let's see, image. It looks like it's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 9 maybe. Maybe 8. Maybe 8 by 8 would probably be a better estimation if you're adding in all of this different stuff. So it's probably 8 by 8 for your whole design. I am using Chalkology ink. This is a Chalk Couture transfer stencil that was available this past in 2024. It came out for our Halloween season. And I'm showing you with a Halloween decoration. Obviously, you can do this with any of our transfer stencils. It doesn't have to be this particular design. And while I'm just going to take one of my squeegees and I'm going to pull this color right out. I'm doing what we call a one and done. So I'm doing it all in one color. You could choose to do it in multiple colors, however you wanted to do it. I am choosing orange peel because that is just perfect for Halloween, and it's going to go along with the decor that I was using. I will actually, I can show you. I am putting it on a kind of a blush colored. This year I was doing peach and or orange and pink, basically. So I'm actually doing the back side of this one. I'm going to attach it to it. So that's why I chose that color, but you can choose any color you want. But you just take the ink right out of the jar and you use your squeegee and you just apply it. As you'll see, also, I have an ink mat underneath this. That is because, number one, this is a very thin material, so the ink is going to go through. Depending on how thick your material is or your textile that you're using, it definitely could go through to the other side. And if you don't want it to get everywhere, then I suggest you use something underneath it. If you don't have an ink mat, that's perfectly fine. Just use a piece of cardboard or let me see, cardboard or you know, something underneath it that would, I just find cardboard easiest, but that will make it so that it doesn't bleed everywhere else and it kind of absorbs in. The other thing to keep in mind is this is permanent ink. Once I heat set this, it will be permanent. I can throw it in the washer if I need to. I will never have to do any kind of special treatment to it. And when you're working with it, you want to be careful, because if you get it somewhere you don't want to, you might want to keep on an apron or something on your clothes. Keep an eye on your fingers. If you happen to get it anywhere on your, you know, your textile that you don't want it, there are a few tips and tricks to get it out, but, you know, depending on the color you're using, like if I was using a really dark color, it would be much more difficult. So just take your time. This goes on so smoothly and so easily. As you can see, I'm just taking what I need to cover the design, and then any extra, I just pull it off, and I just kind of use that on the next section. It doesn't take a lot. I've had this jar for quite a while, and you can get a lot of projects out of it. We also sell several of our ink packets or ink colors in single packets as well, which you can still get multiple projects out of, but that way you're getting it on a smaller scale. If you ever have any questions about any of the products I'm using or techniques, I always encourage you to send me a message. I am happy to answer that, or you can ask in comments if you feel comfortable enough to do that, just because somebody else might have that same question. So I am of the opinion there is no such thing as a dumb question. Information is, knowledge is power, right? So anyway, we're almost done with this. What I will do after I am finished, I'm going to show you the peel and reveal, but I will also let you know in order to prepare it to heat set, it has to be 100% dry. The ink has to be 100% dry. Now, I got ink right off of here a little bit. I am not too concerned because I'm actually going to be cutting this out. So that was what I was getting ready to tell you. It needs to be 100% dry, and then you will heat set it. I use a knockoff of a Cricut. I'm happy to share what kind I've used with you. It's been very reliable. I love it. It did not cost as much as a Cricut version. But sometimes you can even find those on Marketplace, not too expensive. But a heat press is wonderful if you're doing a lot of inking. It just comes in so handy. But you can also just use a regular iron. It needs to be a dry iron, so no water in your steam setting. And then you put it on whatever the setting is for the material you're using, the textile you're using. I'm just making sure I have everything covered and then pulling off any extra guys. And then you use a piece of parchment paper and you have the setting, you do it for 4 minutes on each side. But that is all done. I'm going to put any extra ink I didn't use. It might be still on my little squeegee right back in the jar for the next project. I'm going to shut that jar. Keep it shut when you're not using it so the air doesn't get to it. You don't want it to dry out. Once it dries out, then you have to add distilled water to it, and you don't want to do that. So just try to keep your lids closed. I just use the baby wipe on my fingers to make sure I have no ink on them before I show you the fun part, which is the peel and reveal. So I love to do that. So you just pull it right back. And voila, there you go. You have your design. Now this I will take to my sink and I'll use cool water, cool running water to kind of get the majority of the ink that's on there off. And then I have a soft sponge. I actually use what we call our board erasers for mine because to clean my transfers. But you can also just use a soft sponge. You clean it on both sides and then leave it. This is sticky. It's basically a big sticker, you guys. So you leave it with the sticky side up and it will become sticky again. So I'm going to set this over to the side for a second while I apologize that noise in the background. While I am finishing talking to you, I do spray it with water until I can get it to the sink, just because you don't want your ink to dry in your silk screen, because then you won't be able to use the transfer again. And these transfers are designed to be able to use 12 or more times if you take good care of them. So as you can see on here, some of this, because of the type of textile it is, it doesn't kind of fill in some of the areas. I'm okay with that because this is Halloween and I kind of want that look. But it really has to do with the material you're using. If I was using a tighter weave material, that would be filled in completely. So that's what happens. I usually let mine air dry and then I do them all at one time. You can also take a blow dryer to it, but your ink has to be 100% dry before you heat set it. I do believe I have another video that I can send you if you need it to see how you actually heat set an inked project. But the cool thing about this, I want to tell you, I'm going to cut these out and use them on a pillow. A slip cover, pillow cover that I have for my outdoor pillows that are on my back screen and porch. But another cool thing that you can do, and this is what I'm going to be doing for several of the shirts that I have, you can actually take this design, cut it out after you've heat set it. You can use the Fabri-Tac or some type of fabric glue if you don't want to sew it. If you're a sewer, go ahead and sew. But you can use that and attach it to the back of a flannel. You can put it on a sweatshirt. That is all the rage. And if you see those, they're usually very expensive when it looks like it's an applique. So that's how it can also be used. It's fun. But you can use these same designs to also create yourself a cool little sign. You can put it on a banner. You can actually put this on your front door, your glass, your back door. You can put it on your refrigerator if you wanted, and then take it off after the season was over. Quick and easy holiday decorations. If you were doing any of those things that I just mentioned, a banner, a sign, your door, your microwave, your refrigerator, you would use chalk paste as opposed to ink because you're not making it permanent. You only use ink on items that you need to heat set because you are going to wash them. So anyway, I hope you guys like that idea. Thanks for joining me, and stay tuned for more DIY inspiration. That's why I'm here, you guys. All right, until I see you next time, be safe, be healthy, be blessed, and be so inspired.